Welcome back to the video, guys. Today, hopefully, this is our final video about finding my wife a flash. For you that don't know, that if you haven't followed, my wife's main flash, her 530EX2 Canon, it's disappeared. We don't know what happened to it, so we've had to find her a main flash. Her backup is the Canon 430, I believe it is, but it's too old to be a #1 flash, so we've been on a mad search to find her a new flash for weddings. Started with the Neewer Z2 that did a pretty good job. Had a little bit of, color balance shift and a little bit of exposure shift. It wasn't too bad. It was priced pretty good. But then I had decided to keep it for a while. Then I said, let's try the Godox V1 Pro, because I've got a lot of Godox V1s. And the V1 Pro, I loved it. I thought, this is the flash we're going to keep for sure. Well, I found one more, and it was almost half price. But there's one other thing I love about this flash that absolutely I don't think I've ever seen before. And this might be a deal breaker for the Godox V1. This may become her flash. So let's take a look at it. If you guys are familiar with this, this is the Westcott FJ80-SE. Now what this flash will do that none of the other flashes that I know of will do is, say I've got this on my Canon camera, and we've always shot Canon until about 2 years ago. We added Lumix to our line of cameras so I could go to micro four thirds, the smaller bodies during receptions, because I'm getting older and it gets heavy carrying around all those Canon R6 heavy lenses and battery grips and flashes. So I added micro four thirds Lumix to the picture. So I had to order a Godox V1 for the Lumix, and then I had to order a Godox V1 for my Canon. So same with all of Neewer, whoever, you have to order whatever particular brand you're using. This particular flash will work. All you have to do is set it on the back, tell it you want to work with Lumix, tell it you want it to work with Canon. So I'm thinking, what a great, not only first flash, but a great backup flash, because if something goes down, if I've got it on the Lumix and my V1 goes down on my Canon, I just take this straight over to my Canon, or vice versa. If I'm at a reception and my V1 goes down on my Lumix, just pull this out, put it on top of my Lumix, type in Lumix, shoot away. I love the fact that it's so compatible with every brand. So anyway, let's take a look in the box and see what we got. Hopefully you guys saw our video last Friday about how to use TTL. I had a lot of people asking me about using TTL, because it is kind of confusing first time you look at the back of the flash and you see all those letters and numbers and you're like, oh my God, what does all this mean? But anyway, in the box here we have, this is the base station for the battery charger, battery charging cord. This is probably the battery. Yeah, that's the battery. Now the only downside if I switch to this is everything that we are Godox is in our ecosystem. Like all my triggers work with all my Godox V1s. All the triggers and the V1s work with my 8200s. All my 8200s V1s triggers work with my MS300 studio lights. So it'll pull us out of that Godox system. So that's the one thing I'm hesitating about. But this is mostly for my wife, and she doesn't really care much about being in any system. That's me. So there's the charger, and then here are the stand, and that's probably some adapter for the front of the flash. So anyway, we've got that out of the way, so we'll put this back in. So let's see what the flash looks like. And I see one thing that I like better about the Godox V1 than this. This has the twist on bottom, if you can see the twist on. I don't like those as well as I do the clips. I think that I have the V1 around here. Here's a V1. It has a clip. You just slide it on, clip, it's on. Off, on, off. Compared to tighten down, taking off, but it's not the end of the world. So let's put this battery on. So this goes in. That should be the way it goes. There we go. Now let's turn it on. And I'll tell you, there's another Westcott flash that has a huge digital back, and it's all touchscreen. And I really liked it, and I thought about getting it, but yet it is a little more expensive than the Godox V1 Pro. And from what I've read, it's touchscreen, so there's a lot of hesitation. From the time you turn it on, it takes 7 seconds to get ready, and then you have to tap through all the menus to get to the screen. And then when we're shooting, you can't just reach up to your camera and do it by feel. You have to actually look at the screen and start tapping. So I'm afraid that'll slow me down a bit too much. So, but this flash, it has a nice screen on the back. It's not full color and everything like the other flash, but this is an 80 watt. I believe the Godoxes are between 76 and 80, so they're all about exactly the same on the wattage. Let's see if I can try to get this into manual. I mean, into ETTL here. Nikon. Let's see, I should have looked this up how to do it, but I just opened the box. So we're on Nikon for the moment. I'll have to go in and figure out how to get it switch over. But I did get to TTL. See TTL on the back. And you just roll the dial, like I was talking about that in that video the other night. If you have too much light, turn it down. -1, -1.3, -1.0. If you don't have enough light, just add 3 7/10, 1 stop, and it'll go all the way up to 3, I imagine. Let me do this also because I know we do have a lot of new subscribers, and I've talked to a few of you, and I know that you're very new to learning flash photography. So let me back up for a second and show you how this is going to work. Now, the battery that you saw me take out, you will get in this flash, I don't know the exact amount. I know in the Godox V1s, you're going to get around 500 shots before it's recycled. You don't have to worry about AA batteries because you're using one of these. Now, what they give you to charge is you get a plate. Looks like this. And you can see you got contacts here and you got contacts in here. So you line those up, you push that in like that so it fits together tight. And then you come over here and you get your cable and you take your USB-C into here. And then you take this USB-C and charge it into any regular USB-C. It'll take, I'm not sure on the Westcott. I know on my V1, it'll take a little bit of time to go fully charged if it's all the way empty. That's why at weddings, I'm using V1. I don't let them go all the way empty. I'll shoot a couple hundred, put it on the charger, take the new one, shoot a couple hundred more, go get the one off the charger, keep them going before either one of them gets close to being at 0, because you don't want it to get to 0. You want to always have something handy you can go grab. And you also have, you also have a wall socket that's USB on the back where you can plug this in if you don't have a computer or whatever handy. This is probably faster. Plug that into the wall socket, plug that into there, and let this charge just like that. Now I want to see one other thing. I saw this a while ago, and I was thinking this might Now, I was hoping this might be an adapter that goes onto the top to hold this magnetically. It's obviously the other Westcott flash that takes the Godox magnetically. My bad. So there you go. What you gonna do? But this is how it fits. This is how it fits on the Godox. Just goes right on. Come on, it's magnetic. I love it. So with that said, let me show you the back of both menus. And I'll put them both at +1 so you can see what it looks like size-wise when you want to add one stop of light on TTL. Oh, and there's the modeling light. The modeling light is on, brighter, brighter, and off. So I don't believe that will be a flash. I believe it's just going to be a modeling light. Let me get it over TTL. Okay, so now we're on TTL, and I'm going to set it to +1 and let you see the difference of the size in the menu and see how that looks. Okay, now they're both set to be +1 on TTL. Look at the size difference. You can really see that's good, but it's very small. This is much bigger. So it's much easier to look at and see what my settings are on my flash, so I like that a lot. So anyway, let's get on with the review. I just wanted to show some of the new guys how you would actually set up your equipment, charge it, and go about it that route, because sometimes a lot of people tell me I skip over a lot of the important things, so that time I wanted to make sure that I showed you guys how to do that. So let's continue on. So with that said, a lot of the similarities, it's got a lot of similarities. I'm just going to need to go and learn the menu, learn how to get it from Nikon over to Lumix and the Canon. So the pros of this flash is the price. It was $199. That's right there, price with the Neewer Z2. It has the modeling light in the front. I don't know that it fires when I take a picture. That's something I got to check, like the Godox V1. I doubt that it does. I think it's just a modeling light, but I could be wrong. I love the screen on the back. The biggest thing about this flash I like the most is the fact it will fit any camera. If I need to put it on Lumix, put it on Lumix. I need to put it on Canon, I put it on Canon. If for some reason I need to put it on a Fuji, I'll put it on a Fuji. It fits all the different cameras, which is awesome. I think that is just fantastic. So, but anyway, the downside, I don't like the screw on and screw off. I much prefer the clip on, clip off like Canon and the newer Godox have. But we're gonna try it and see how we like it. We're going out of town. We're going to be taking some pictures. We'll do some test shots of this, and once and for all, we're going to finally decide what flash my wife is going to have to do her wedding. This has just been crazy going through all these flashes, but I've kind of enjoyed it. I've gotten to use the Neewer Z2, the Godox V1 Pro. Now I've got the Wescott FJ80-SE. So it's kind of been fun going through the flashes and seeing what works best. It's been a while since I've tried out so many flashes, so I have enjoyed it. Anyway, if you guys have used the Westcott, let me know. If you've compared other flashes, let me know what you like the best. What flash do you use now? What flash do you dislike? Have you had a flash that you bought that you just did not like? Because I'll tell you, I was sold on that Godox V1 Pro. I love that, being able to pop it up and get a little bit of pop of light out of the front for fill flash. But the price difference and the compatibility features of this camera, if this puts out nice light, nice strong light, and it looks nice, the compatibility may be what puts this over the top to be my wife's main flash. So anyway, with that said, guys, if we're helping you guys out, give us a big thumbs up. And if you're enjoying the channel, hit that subscribe button. You guys have a good day. Thanks.